Have you ever gotten to the edit of your film and realized that something isn't working? It's probably the worst feeling as a filmmaker, and it's so obvious to see what you overlooked in production once it's all in a timeline. But one of the uses of the virtual production app Jetset is to not only previs your shoot, but pre-shoot and pre-edit your entire film. So you can iterate, try new things, get notes, refining your film before you get to production. Here's how I did just that in the second episode of my sci-fi series, Friends of Sophia, Tidbits and Bytes. Jetset is an iPhone app that works with a piece of software called AutoShot, and together you have full real-time virtual production with just a camera and a phone. You can preview your 3D environment in real time and bring camera motion from your take directly into your 3D software. No tracking necessary. But it's also super useful as a pre-production tool. For the second episode of Tidbits and Bytes, we're shooting on a green screen, but I wanted to shoot it as if we were doing an indie in a real apartment. Shooting handheld, panning back and forth between two actors during a comedic back and forth. It's a style I don't think I would usually try if I was doing a green screen shoot, and that's why I wanted to test it out for this one. The room itself is a 3D model of an actual shoot location from our original Friends of Sophia production in New York. I'm reusing a 3D model of the room that I built for another wide shot in the Friends of Sophia film, but adding some more elements like a balcony, a kitchen, a computer, and other things. Next, I edited together audio of the actors performing the scene. In Blender, I did some rough blocking of the scene, just sliding characters around. Once everything is looking good, I export the scene as a USD file and use Lightcraft's AutoShot software to create a USD-Z file that I can open in Jetset. In AutoShot, you can add audio, so I add the file here. Then when I open Jetset, I can see the entire scene play out and hear the audio of the actors. From here, you can move anywhere, record takes, and sync it all on your computer. And this is all with the free version of Jetset. Jetset can run a little hot, so I made this little rig with a fan to keep my iPhone cool. Then I can edit the whole scene together, see where I need to get any additional coverage, and quickly get that shot. I also sent this cut for notes to see how it's resonating. Repeating this cycle ends up with a third, fourth, fifth cut of the episode, something that everyone can see is working, and it makes production go even more smoothly. With the Cine version of Jetset, you can calibrate everything to your cinema camera. We're using a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. One thing to keep in mind is that your phone becomes a piece of equipment. So once it's attached to your camera rig, it's locked. You do your lens calibrations, use it to do 3D scans of your set, but you don't want to move it throughout the day because then you'll have to redo all of your lens calibrations. It's really great to have the 3D robot in the USD-Z file in Jetset because I can frame properly for where that robot is going to be. I had the actor just look at a C-stand or a light stand for the eye line, but in camera I could see where Bytes was and frame properly instead of just guessing how much headroom I would need, for example. We also ran a couple of shots through AutoShot there on set. So we took, a few frames from a couple takes, ran it through, and that way we could see the actor composited in the Blender scene with all of the lighting. That was really helpful just to make sure everything was matching, just for context of where we are and what the vibe of the set actually is. The editing process also went super fast. I used Jetset's rough comps and did a first edit with those clips, matching the pre-edit pretty exactly. Then I could share a cut the next day. As I refined the shots from the rough versions to a post-viz to an EV render, I could fine-tune the edit as I needed, cutting sooner, holding longer, etc. based on performance. But there was no second guessing. I've never worked so efficiently, and it's because of this pre-edit. Now, imagine that scaled up for an indie feature. You could make your entire film using Jetset, get notes on cuts, revise your script, adjust your coverage, and come up with an extremely lean production plan that's gonna save you money. I'm gonna keep doing this process for the Friends of Sophia series, but I'm also gonna take it to the feature that I'm gonna work on after this. Let's take a look at the finished second episode of Friends of Sophia, Tidbits and Bytes.
So, this is the apartment.
Bit cluttered and standard issue, so you're definitely not an overachiever with the company.
Nope. That's the bed.
Ooh. What is that?
What?
That!
My computer?
Are you kidding me? You thought you could lure me here into a surprise threesome? Really? You think because I'm a bot you don't need my consent? You think you can just run an executable file and make me do whatever you want? You think you can just load your little program and then leave me there to clean up my own code myself? That last one's actually totally fine. Kinda hot.
It's just a normal desktop computer. It doesn't have any sentience or anything.
Oh, so bots aren't people to you, I'm out of here, you sicko.
Wait, don't leave! There was no setup! I only invited you over. Just you. I definitely don't want to have a threesome with my computer.
Well, have you even thought about it? It's actually kind of fun. Alright, fine, I'm in. Take off your clothes.